Well, hi everyone. Welcome. My name is Amanda, and I am so happy to have all of you here today. If you haven't practiced with me before, my number one rule is that nothing is required. You're not obligated to do any pose, stretch that doesn't feel good in your body. I always offer, or try to offer many modifications because we're all built differently. So if I look a certain way and something else feels a little better, moving around, please feel free to do that. There is no particular pose that you need to be doing. I'm just up there giving suggestions. Today, all we need is our mats. If you do have blocks or even books, something that can kind of bear your weight, that would be good. If not, no worries. So let's see, I'm gonna try to share my screen. And hopefully all can hear it. Awesome, okay. So we're just gonna start in a nice seated pose, whatever that may look like. So if you have kind of sensitive knees, you can always have your legs out straight. If it does feel good to come into a crisscross applesauce pose or even an easy seat, you can sit on a pillow or a bolster if that feels better too. And then up to you, you can come straight into stillness. Or if it feels good, maybe close the eyes, sway a little side to side. Just cultivating nice, easy movements in the body, transitioning from maybe a hectic day that you've been having to just a more slower pace. And then maybe settling into that stillness, rooting the sit bones down into the earth, letting the spine be nice and long all the way to the crown of the head. Letting the eyes be nice and heavy or closed. And taking a big inhale through the nose. Nice, deep, long exhale. And again, just noticing your breath. If you notice it is short or shallow or a little fast, just intentionally slowing it down, deepening the breath. Letting yourself know that you're okay and that you're safe in this space. Every inhale, feeling the body expand just a bit more. And then with every exhale, letting the body settle and relax and soften. And if it resonates with you, setting a small intention for your practice. It can be a positive affirmation, or maybe it's releasing something that no longer serves or benefits you. No overthinking, just whatever comes to you naturally, just let it be, and let that sink in for a moment. And then taking one more big inhale through the nose. Long exhale. Keeping the eyes closed or maybe nice and heavy. Just begin to slowly roll the shoulders back. Looping the shoulders up and down a few times, releasing the shoulders, releasing any tension you may have. We're going to do a lot of heart openers today. So really getting those shoulders loose, opening up the chest. This is great, especially if you sit all day at a desk or a chair, or even on your phone texting, and you begin to slouch, and just reversing that and opening up the body. And then we'll find some stillness, tuck the chin towards the chest, and gently begin to blink the eyes open, nice and easy. We'll inhale, take the arms overhead, gaze what's in between the thumbs, nice and long. Exhale, let the hands float next to your side. 2 more times. Inhale, nice and big. This is great to do in the morning. It gets you nice and energized. Exhale it down. Last time, inhale up. And then exhale, let the hands float next to your side. We're going to take the right hand, just place it off to the right. And then inhale that left arm all the way up, nice and tall. Inhale, reach maybe a centimeter more. And then exhale, that feels good, leaning over to the right, extending that top arm. So rooting that left sit bone down into the ground. Feeling that side stretch all the way from the sit bone all the way to the fingertips. And then we'll inhale all the way back up through center. And then exhale, just leaning towards the other side, reach that top arm all the way up. And then exhale, extending over. Feeling all the little intercostal muscles of the ribs gently opening up. And you can always back off if that doesn't feel too good to start off with a deep bend, finding where your depth is right now. So we're going to take that top arm, and we're going to begin to slowly sweep it in front of us. And then inhale that left arm all the way up. Again, inhale, reaching forward. And exhale the arm up. Inhale, maybe reach back just a bit. Tiny little heart opener. And then exhale, squeezing the hand in front of you. And you don't even have to go that deep. Just finding your range of motion today. So we're just going to do that a few times at your own pace. Maybe even close the eyes. Feel all the little muscles working for you. Flowing through like you're flowing through mud, flowing through honey, nice and easy, having harmony in the body. And then wherever you are, we'll do it one more time. Inhaling that top arm all the way up, opening up the chest. And we'll inhale both arms all the way towards center. Exhale, take the hands behind the back, clasp them together, and we'll inhale, press the chest all the way up, gaze looks up towards the ceiling, knuckles pressing down towards the earth. Just staying here for a breath. If it feels good, you can let go of your clasp, place the fingertips down on the ground behind you, and then gently lift the hips up maybe just an inch or two, opening up the front body. And coming all the way down, we'll release the clasp if you have it, and then begin to walk the hands out in front of you. Maybe sway a little side to side. If you have the space, you can always place your forearms on a block or a pillow, even all the way down to the ground, and just backing off if that doesn't feel good. Tucking the chin, and just breathing through this pose, letting the low back release. Taking one breath in and one breath out. You're going to slowly press yourself all the way up. If you have your legs crossed, see if you can cross the opposite leg in front or on top, balancing out the legs. And then once we're here, we're just going to roll the shoulders back a couple more times, opening up the chest nice and gently. Beautiful. And then we'll find a little stillness. And we're just going to walk our hands over to the right. So the right fingertips are right behind you. Left fingertips are on top of that knee or even that thigh. We're going to inhale, straighten up the spine nice and tall. Exhale, begin to slowly spin around to the right. And the head and the gaze, the last thing to look towards the back. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then coming back towards center, we'll just walk the hands over to the other side. Inhale the spine nice and long. And then exhale, begin to move into that space that you created. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then coming back to center. So we're going to take our hands again, clasp them behind your back, and then take the chest all the way up. If it feels good, maybe take the clasp and take it to the right side. If this doesn't feel good, you can always just lock your arms behind you. And then taking that right ear towards the right shoulder, releasing any tension in the side of the neck. We'll inhale, take the knuckles towards the floor. And then exhale, taking the hands on the other side, left side. And then taking the left ear towards left shoulder. Inhale back up to center. Take the clasp down towards the floor. Again, if it feels good, taking the fingertips behind you and then pressing the hips all the way up and back. And coming back towards the floor, and we'll walk the hands out. Again, if it feels good, we're swaying a little side to side. Maybe coming down onto the forearm. And taking a big breath in. And a big breath out. Slowly pressing yourself all the way up. So just coming to a side seat or rolling over your knees, and we're going to come into a tabletop. So shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, fingertips spread nice and wide, pressing down through all 10 knuckles. Swaying a little left to right, forward and back, warming up the wrist. And then we'll find some stillness. Spine is nice and long. We'll inhale, lower the belly, open up the chest, gaze looks up for cow pose. Exhale, round the upper back, belly to spine, chin to chest for cat. And then a couple more times. Inhale, all the way up, pulling the heart through. And then exhale, doming the upper back. One more time. Inhale for cow pose. Exhale to cat. And coming to a nice neutral spine, we're just going to look over our right shoulder, looking at our pinky toe, but trying not to move the hip. Coming towards center. And then exhale, looking towards the left pinky toe. And then coming all the way back. We're going to tuck the toes under, really press through all 10 knuckles, press into the palms. Engage the core, and we're just going to lift the knees up just for a moment, hovering. Keep the knees bent, and we're going to take the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. So if it feels good, maybe play around with it. See if you can do a cat pose, and then a cow pose, and then somewhere in between, we're going to have a nice long spine. You don't want to be domed over or super flexed forward, but nice and long. And then when you're ready, begin to slowly peel out the feet, waking up the hamstrings, waking up the calves. And then gaze is looking in between the feet. And the neck is nice and soft. And then when you're ready, maybe straightening out both legs. So the heels don't have to touch. I'd rather have your knees bent and then spine nice and long. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up onto the toes. And then slowly roll the spine all the way forward until you're into plank pose. Exhale, begin to take the hips all the way up and back, downward facing. Two more times. Inhale, rolling out nice and long like a wave in the ocean. And then exhale all the way back down. Last time. Inhale, rolling out. And then exhale exhale all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat, and then exhale, slowly step all the way to the front. Nice little simple step. Once you make your way over, folding over the legs, nice bend in the knees. If it feels good, grabbing onto opposite elbows, swaying a little side to side and ragdoll. And if you're holding onto any tension in the neck and the shoulders, see if you can just breathe through it. Let the upper body be nice and heavy, releasing any tension. And we'll take the fingertips back down to the ground, keeping the head nice and heavy. We'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. All the way up to standing, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale the arms all the way up, gaze what's in between the thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips. We're going to swan dive down, nice and easy. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can be on top of the thighs, the chin. And then exhale, forward fold. Twice more. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, halfway. And then exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. Stay for the breath in. And then on the breath out, we're going to lower the knees down to the ground and then begin to bend the elbows, grazing the rib cage all the way down to the belly, flattening the feet. We're going to inhale, lift the chest an inch, just for baby cobra, and then exhale down. Inhale maybe a little higher this time, and then exhale down. Last time, inhale maybe to a full cobra, and then exhale down with control. So then taking the toes back towards the mat and then squeezing the elbows towards midline. We're going to engage the core and lift all the way up into a plank pose. And then exhale all the way back down, facing dog. And then pulling at the feet again just for a moment. Inhale, gaze towards the top. And then exhale, stepping all the way to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time root to rise all the way up to standing, lifting the arms, lifting the gaze. Exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. Again, stay for the breath in. On the breath out, lower the knees, bend the elbows all the way down to the belly, and then flatten the feet. So we're going to do what we call cobra push-ups. So taking the elbows, again, zipping them in towards your side. And let the gaze look straight down at the mat. So neck is nice and long, tops of the feet planted in towards the mat, and glutes are slightly engaged. We're going to inhale, lift up just a few inches, and exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down. So your core is engaged the whole entire time. This is actually a full body engagement. Try really pressing down into the heels of the palms of your hands. And you should feel a nice little burn in the back of the arms, also opening up the front body. And we'll just do this 3 more times. 2. And then 1. And then exhale all the way back down. Tuck the feet under. Engage with the core. Press all the way up. Plank pose. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. And then exhale, maybe this time taking a big step towards the front. But you can always take nice little steps as well. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, taking the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. And again, just hanging out here for a minute in our plank, engaging the core. Maybe even see if the shoulders can do a little bit of a cat back. And then we'll lower the knees down. Exhale all the way down to the belly. And then flattening the feet. So we're going to keep our hands right underneath our shoulders. Glutes are engaged and Tops of the feet are grounded into the mat. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the arms. And then exhale down. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now taking the hands by your hips, fingertips pointing towards the back of the mat. We're going to inhale the feet all the way up, engaging the glutes. And then exhale down. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. And just relaxing the body if it feels good. On your next breath in, we're going to lift up the fingertips and the toes all the way up. And then exhale down. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. So you can rest here for a minute if you need it. If you're with me, inhale both the fingertips and the toes all the way up. See if you can cross the hands behind your back. And then lifting up the chest a little more. Maybe the toes meet together, coming into lotus pose. And then exhale all the way down. So taking the hands right in front of your forehead, letting the third eye rest. And you can bend both knees and then windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And we'll gently place the feet all the way down. Take the hands right underneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes, engage the core, lift all the way up into plank pose. Exhale, taking it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, stepping all the way to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms. Exhale, thumbs come to the third eye. And then thumbs come to heart center. We're standing nice and tall, feet rooted into the ground, all the way to the crown of the head, rolling the shoulders flat. Big inhale in, chest meets the thumbs. Exhale out the mouth. Twice more, inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, taking the hands down and then stepping back to plank pose. So you can come down into cobra, or if you want to take your flow, you can come forward, lower down halfway into chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing. On your next breath in, we're going to lift the left toes all the way up, bend the knee, open up the hips. It feels good, circling out the knee a couple of times. And then we'll inhale, lift that left leg all the way straight, squaring off the hips. Exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. And then foot comes in between the hands, low lunge. We'll spin the right heel down towards the ground. And on your next inhale, we'll lift all the way up, warrior two. So letting the hips be nice and level, letting that front thigh press up against that invisible wall behind you. Letting the arms be nice and long, rolling the shoulders behind you. We're going to inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, low lunge. And then just taking the left foot to meet the right. And then taking your flow or going straight into downward facing dog, your choice. And you can always come into child pose if you need a breather, no big deal. If you're with me, inhale the right toes all the way up, bend the knee, open up the hips. And then circling out the knee if that feels good. Inhale, straighten up that right leg. And then exhale, knee to nose, knee to chest. Foot comes in between the hands and the lunge. Spin the back heel down towards the ground. And inhale, windmill the arms all the way up. Warrior two. Nice strong legs, strong foundation. soft shoulders. Taking one breath in, one breath out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, taking it all the way down, low lunge. Right foot meets the left. Again, taking your flow, whatever that may look like. I'm going to stay here for 3 rounds of breath. And again, you can always come down into child's pose if that feels good for a little break. And then one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, begin to step all the way to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, lifting the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the hands back down to the ground, stepping back into plank pose. And then take your flow. Meeting in a downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift the left leg all the way up, bending, open up the hip again. And then inhale, straighten that left leg. Inhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. Place that left foot in between the hands, low lunge. And again, spinning that back heel down towards the ground. We'll lift all the way up on an inhale, warrior two. And settling the breath, softening the face. So to open up the chest a little more, we're going to take our arms and place them right in front of us, kind of like doors. And then on your next inhale, we're going to straighten up that front knee and then lift all the way up, coming into cactus arms, opening up the chest. And then exhale, closing down. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale up. And then exhale down. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, keeping the legs where they are, just tipping over to the front of the body. And then taking that forearm on top of the thigh, extending that top arm all the way over, extended side angle. Taking 1 breath in. And 1 breath out. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down to the floor, low lunge. Left foot meets the right, and then take your flow. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale the right leg all the way up, bending, open up the hips, 3-legged down dog. Inhale, straighten up that right leg, squaring off the hips. Inhale, lift a little higher. And then exhale, knee to chest, knee to nose. Right foot comes in between the hands, low lunge. Spinning the back heel down to the ground. We'll inhale all the way up, warrior two. Again, finding your foundation. Then finding that calm breath. Again, we'll take the arms right in front of us like shutters. And on your next inhale, we'll lift all the way up, straightening up that right foot, open up. Exhale, closing down. Twice more, inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale up. Exhale down. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. And on the exhale again, coming over, extended side angle. Pressing that forearm down into that thigh, giving you more space between the ear and shoulder. Rooting that left heel into the ground, reaching with those top fingertips. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands forward, low lunge. The right foot knees the left toes. And then take your flow. So again, staying here for 3 rounds of breath. But then we're all going to meet up into a child's pose. And so you can always go there sooner if needed. And then when you're ready, slowly lowering the knees down to the ground. Letting the knees come out as wide as comfortable, big toes meet. Walking out the hands in front of you. And then taking the third eye down to the floor. Letting the belly be nice and soft between the legs. Letting any tension go in the shoulders. And then just taking this moment to maybe let go of anything that no longer serves or benefits you. Maybe you needed it yesterday or the week before. So maybe whatever you're holding on to is just weighing you down. So seeing if you can breathe through it. Knowing that energy no longer serves you. Inviting new energy, new positive energy into your body, into your life. And then we'll just take one more breath in. One more breath out. When you're ready, we're going to slowly walk our hands all the way back towards our knees. So we're going to come into some different variations of camel. If you need to get a blanket or even double up your mat like this will be nicer on your knees. So just coming, sitting on your heels or even a block if that feels better. And then when you're ready, we're just going to slowly come all the way up. And then knees are about width distance. So we're going to start to inhale the arms all the way up, extending the spine nice and long. And then exhale, float the arms down by your side, clasp the hands behind your back. Inhale, press the chest up a little more, and then knuckles coming down towards the tailbone. Big breath in. Big breath out. Slowly release. And then coming back to the heels, you can even come into a modified child's pose or just staying up on the heels and taking a nice big breath in. Big breath out. When you're ready, we'll inhale all the way back up onto the knees. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, take the hands behind you again, clasp the hands, open up the chest a bit more. This time, if it feels good, maybe take the hands onto the low back. And see if you can gently press the hips forward. And then opening up the shoulders a little more, opening up the chest. Again, taking a big breath in. Big breath out. Up on the exhale, slowly coming back to the heels, coming into a child's pose, or just sitting on your heels, nice and tall. Again, big breath in. Big breath out to clear it all. So if you do have blocks, or even like Amazon boxes or books, just place them on the outside of your heel. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale all the way back up. So inhale the arms nice and long above the head. Exhale, take the hands behind you, clasp your hands, inhale the chest up a bit more. Maybe the hands come onto the low back. So you can stay here if this is where you're comfortable. If you want to move on, see if you can take your hands onto the block. And again, still pressing the hips towards the front. Big breath in. Big breath out. Taking the hands back onto the lower back, and we're going to exhale down all the way to the heels. And we're going to take one more breath to clear it all. Big breath in. Big breath out. So you can just stay here or come in child's pose if that's too much of back bend. You're like, I'm good with it. You want to try to come into another variation or into the full variation. We'll just inhale up on the knees one last time. And up to you, you can keep the tops of your feet towards the ground or even tuck the toes under. Either way works. We'll inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale the hands down towards the back. Again, clasping the hands or placing them on your low back on the block. Maybe reaching back towards the heels. Pressing the chest up and pressing the hips forward. Gently dropping the nuts back if it feels good. We'll just stay here for one breath in, one breath out. Slowly take the hands to the lower back. Inhale all the way up, nice and easy. And just gently coming back down onto the heel. A lot of back bends right there. So if it feels good, we can come into child's pose one last time. And this time, actually, take your knees close together instead of wide. And then maybe reach towards the back of the heel. And then just gently fold over the tops of the legs. Let that low back release. So you can stay here if you need a few more moments. If you're with me, just slowly coming up. And then we'll just take the legs out in front of us. Shake them out a bit. And then gently flex the feet. Flex the toes up towards the sky. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, spine nice and long, pulling the chest towards the toes and then letting the hands fall wherever they may fall. It can be on your toes, shins, even blocks or the floor. Tucking the chin, closing the eyes. Maybe even swaying a little side to side if that feels good. Always bend your knees as well, if that feels better, on your low back and the back of the legs. Just finding ease and comfort in the body. And taking a full breath in, full breath out. We'll slowly roll all the way back up and grabbing a hold of the legs or using your core, either way. We're going to slowly roll down one notch at a time onto our back. And then grabbing both knees into the chest, rocking side to side. If it feels good, you can always come into happy baby, taking the feet, flexing them towards the sky, and holding on to the inner arches or the sides of the feet. Gently pressing the knees towards the ground. And then we'll take the knees all the way back towards center, kind of a 90-degree angle bend. We're going to take our hands out, our arms out into a T, and then we're going to slowly lower both knees to the right, and then gaze can look over to the left. Notice if you're holding on to any tension in the body, you're just letting it go. Feel the ground beneath you. Just absorbing that calm energy of the earth. When you're ready, we'll inhale the knees all the way back up towards center. And then exhale, letting them drift off to the left. Gaze can look over towards the right fingertip. And again, just checking in with the body, see if you have any tension in the arms, if you're gripping with your fingertips, and letting them soften. Taking a full breath in, and a full breath out. We'll take the legs all the way back up towards center, and again, just hugging them in towards the chest, rocking side to side. And then we'll slowly come into Shavasana. If you need to have your feet wider than hip width and let the knees come in first to neutralize the low back, you can do that. You can also, if you have a pillow or blanket, place them right underneath the knees. That'll also support the low back. And then since we're all at home, if it ever feels good to you, you can always come up to a wall in your house and then place your feet up against it. This is really good for circulation. You can put your legs up against a back of a couch or a wall, anything that will support you. And then once you settle in, taking a big breath in through the nose, pause at the top, and then exhale nice and slow. Then tucking the chin just a centimeter to lengthen out the back of the neck. Begin to relax the toes, soles of the feet and the ankles. Relaxing the calves, the knees, and the tops of the thighs. Softening the hips and the pelvis. And then letting this peaceful sensation flow all the way up through the spine, into the belly, into the chest. Melting the shoulders down into the earth. And relaxing the arms all the way down to the fingertips. Releasing any tension you may have in your jaw. And then softening the space between your brows. Letting your thoughts and mind become one with the earth, with the source, with the self. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Nice soft exhale. Slowly begin to come back to this room, back to your body, back to your breath. Wiggling out the toes and fingertips. And then taking a nice big stretch like you're waking up in the morning. If it feels good, rolling over to your favorite side into fetal pose. Once you make your way there, taking one breath in, one breath out. Now at the bottom of the exhale, slowly pressing yourself all the way to a comfortable seat. Keeping the eyes closed or heavy. And then we'll take the hands to the heart center, bowing the chin in gratitude for taking time for your practice and taking this time for yourself. I hope you all feel a little brighter, a little stronger, and a little more at peace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Well, thank you everyone for coming. I hope to see you all next week. Bye.